Hello, welcome to the Well, Maria from Bloom and Angela from Grounded Dreamers. We're so happy to be here. Let's take a moment to just circle up at the well. Oh, your own inner well inside, and then the collective well. A moment to pause and reflect what would nourish you wherever you are in your journey, and then also what are you grateful for, wherever you are in your journey. What are you grateful for? And I've never done this before, but I think I'll do this today. Some of the gratitudes that people shared at the well. I'm grateful for people celebrating artistic and creative endeavors of others, championing hearts. I'm grateful for my garden. I'm grateful for friends. I'm grateful for my yoga community. I'm grateful for the beauty in the weather and for my health and well-being. I'm grateful for having the resources to do the things we want to do. Just some beautiful gratitudes from the group. And I'm grateful for my upcoming trip. Really beautiful gratitude. So yeah, and I'm grateful for my breath. So on that gratitude note, let's go into the reading.
Perfect. And I'm grateful for my ghosts. This is our reading today.
Yeah, it's
We're going to
powerful
find a
one.
way, right? We're going to work our way to gratitude for these ghosts, but this is representing shadows or old thoughts from your past that recur and stay, like a ghost that walks the same hallway every night and doesn't ever get out of that loop. And that's what happens in our minds. Sometimes we get caught in a loop. It's usually creates a block. It's usually preventing us from going forward. And so we're going to find a way to, let those clear out so that, and use some forgiveness and some movement in that so that we don't keep those old wounds open, yet we can also move forward. I got guilt to go with that. So for some of us, this could be guilt, regret, some shame, something past oriented that was already done. And she's got those, claws clawing at her brain. But above her is clarity, and above her is fresh air and clear skies. So it's how to clear that out.
I just realized that interesting, right? Talk about shadow, right? I missed the guilt card in the reading of the group.
Oh,
It's so interesting. Yeah, right? Like the ghost came and the guilt just I didn't even hear it, which is so interesting. So be aware out there what guilt might be in the shadows that needs to have some light brought to it. So
that maybe we don't really want to.
yeah, that may be how easy that I just didn't hear that one, right?
Well,
So
and I've got a list waiting for me.
oh my goodness, so good.
But
Okay.
it's good news to show this card because it's showing us that there's hope, right? With the clear skies. So
100%.
how do we deal with that? And another thing too is to realize that those thoughts and those memories are just that. They're not part of your world now. They may be part of the way you react in your world because you're still carrying some of that old energy, but finding a way to let that energy dissipate frees you up to really be present in your life as it is now. Those thoughts are not part of your now life. They're just thoughts. So, and that's a hard one, because we're like, yeah, but that affected me. And it's, we get that. And it is very,
they're just interpretations.
and we can change the interpretation. We can shift that
Exactly. They're
too.
malleable.
Yes,
Guilt,
exactly.
guilt is an interpretation. The story that gets created around the guilt is an interpretation, and it's a heavy one, right?
And if you're living in full presence, you don't really experience this a lot because you're in the present. Guilt is such a past anchor,
Well,
right?
and it's oh my gosh, this is so powerful too, because yeah, I mean, healthy, appropriate guilt, like I don't love the word appropriate, but I think it's appropriate to this conversation. But like healthy guilt prompts us when we've literally done something wrong. Like I've broken somebody's vase and I feel a sense of guilt and I need to say, I'm sorry, I broke your vase and I'm going to replace your vase. So I'm going to make some repair around it, right? But so many of us, especially highly empathic beings, we carry so much guilt for the whole world, and inside that world of what we think we did, we did wrong or whatever. So it's just talk about
It's a heavy, heavy energy. And like you said, the more we pile up, if we're carrying everyone else's and whatever, a succession of things that happen, and we're holding all of those, that weighs our energy down so much more
Yeah.
than we realize
It's
until we
really a
start to,
cage. It's a cage of
it's,
constraint, right?
yeah, trapped.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we start to learn to release them, we realize, wow, there's more, right? Because this stuff
Mm.
comes up in waves. So
Yeah, totally.
yeah, it's a good thing to focus, and really being present into now is
Mm-hmm.
the first step to moving forward. And
Mm-hmm.
then I got family,
Mm-hmm.
and this came to me in two ways when I pulled it. It was either some of these ghosts and these repeating thoughts and maybe the guilt, it pertains to your family, your circle of loved ones, your immediate go-tos,
Or your
whoever,
inner family system, right?
or
Mm-hmm.
your
And
family
internal
system.
family systems, right?
Correct. It could have to do with that. And then I also thought you could lean on your family for support in these in releasing some of this stuff. And it could be both. It could be one or the other, or however it lands in your spirit. But the family card came up, which I thought was interesting. It indicates you're not alone. Even if you are physically alone in this world right now, you're never alone. There's always support and unseen forces there helping you, your guides. And then also if this source of if that ghost thought and that pain has to do with something within your family, then that gives us a chance to kind of step back and kind of go, okay, that was a long time ago. This is where everyone was then. We start to be able to release and distance ourselves from the occurrence. I got adjustments are required, so that's kind of what I'm talking about right now. Creating that distance, being able to one good way to do it is through daily practice, meditation. If it's for you, if it's exercise or taking a swim or going outside and screaming or practicing some kundalini or just being with your pets, whatever can take your mind off of the ghosts and help you presence into what is in your world now, that gives you a little bit of reprieve from some of those impeding thoughts. Otherwise, we end up with a mind like this.
Monster mind.
Monster mind, totally cluttered, on fire, busting out.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, I never noticed, but this looks like, is that bricks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, or wood, like just a hard base. Foundation is hardened and everything's cluttered and stuck. We do not want to get to this.
Or even like a mummy, like mummified
Oh,
almost.
it could be a mummy. Yeah, it could
But
be
like
mummy
all of
god.
it,
Could
just
be mummy.
bound, constrained, trapped, all of it. And then in monster mind.
And monster mind, and just if you see the mouth kind of screaming out like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, get me out of this.
Like
So that's
agonizing.
what we want to avoid.
Well,
And
it is. It's agony. It's misery. And to be in that state of being, it's absolute abject misery.
like
Right?
the loop, like the recorded loop that just plays over and over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it will, it definitely takes us out of our moment, takes us out of our real life.
Mm-hmm.
And then it could also just impede our progress in trying to move forward with anything. So the next card I got is shape shifting. This comes
Mm-hmm.
after adjustments are required, and then a cautionary.
Mm-hmm.
This is what your mind will do. And this is more of a be with the energy that is here now. We don't see a cloud trying to hold its shape ever. It's
Mm-hmm.
always moving with whatever wind is there or whatever sunlight burns it off, or it's always in motion and it's present to what the elements are in that moment. And this is what we want. If you want to sort of imagine your thoughts kind of doing this and being able to move and shift, that helps too. That's one way during your meditation to sort of clear some of that energy.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got innocence, and this is your ability to see it with fresh eyes, to find a new perspective, to wash away all that you knew and only see what is now, and then enjoy it and receive it and appreciate it. And then I got balance, and this is where we hopefully take a breath and go, okay, I'm able to clear some of that, because sometimes when we address these ghosts, it leaves us vulnerable, or it leaves us fearful, or, you know, if I let go of that part of my identity, who am I now? And that could leave us feeling a little shaky. So being able to hold our balance, like the birds, when they're on the telephone wire and the wind blows, they don't
Mhm.
fly, they don't go fall off, they hold firm, because they're allowing the external forces
Mhm.
and their internal strength, they're allowing space for all of it. They're allowing it to be there, whatever that is that wants to knock you down.
Mhm.
But your internal fortitude kind of shores up and goes, you can blow, you know, all you want, but I'm still going to stand here in
Mhm.
my balance. And that, you know, leaving space for all of it is important, because then you're in more neutrality that way.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Mm.
that's the part. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cultivating space is really about getting to a place of neutrality, right? That feeling, that flow of neutrality where, you know, there's no judgment, there's just this way, there's just this being. And the clearing of the shadows. I mean, this again, the reading for May is cultivating spaciousness. And this week's journey is another way to deepen that practice. So I invite everyone to, again, listen to the challenge and take a moment now to pause and go inside. And wherever you are in your journey, what is important for you to be with, to, you know, take action with or on, and just get intentional. Just take a moment to invite that intention to form, inspired by the reading, and go ahead and write that down for yourself, either literally, physically, or just symbolically. Make a note of it. And then we'll go right into the next part of the reading, which continues the journey.
That's it. We went under with balance, and then we start this set off with stop, drop, and ground. This is important, and
It's huge.
several times through your day, you should practice grounding, whether that's visually in your energy and just kind of seeing yourself dropping a grounding cord to the earth, or
Mm-hmm.
feeling your feet planted firmly in the ground, and taking the energy from that to strengthen your alignment, or actually going out and earthing, finding a part of the earth, you know, some grass, some dirt, some sand, and really just lying fully in it and feeling the support that there is always for us. And that also helps you to get present and be strong in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got surrender. And that is a being able to be grounded and allow for whatever's coming through, whatever is real, whatever is true in your in this moment for you, and just let it be there.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be there. If it's something that you want to embrace, embrace it, and you know, incorporate it into your day. If it's something that that's too much, or I don't want to deal with that, let it pass by, but allow it all to be there. No resistance, no resistance. In a grounded state, it really helps us to shore up our strength. And then I got release. And I wanted to note how both of these they have light coming from the crown, coming from above. So this
Mm-hmm.
is a connection to the divine as well. And this is the release of those thoughts, of those ghosts, or of knowing that you have a tendency to resist them, even releasing that, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
anything around it, so that you could start to chip away at that weight that's in your mind. And then I got river of blessings. This is releasing constraints, but this is more to do with your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So we know we have thoughts. Are they triggered by emotions, or the thoughts trigger the emotions, whatever, but they're tied together.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, right? For some of us, it comes as a feeling first, and then we analyze it and think of it. But either way, this is being able to be with it, right? Let it flow like the clouds that shapeshift. The water is a shapeshifter as well. It flows past the boulder and moves through and finds its way forward no matter what. And this is important as pertains to our emotions, to let them flow as they come up,
Mm-hmm.
and not resist them, not try to block them. Then I got the end of a tough cycle approaches, which is really, it's like a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a hopeful card. It's kind of, if this ghost stuff in your own mind is heavy and thick and many layers, even just releasing one layer can give you the signal that, oh yeah, I'm on my way. I'm on my way to clearing this. It doesn't have to be, I did it all overnight. That's never going to happen, right? But making the progress is what to point out, is what to focus on. And then that leads us to harmony. And now we start to feel the alignment, right? We start to connect, our thoughts, our intuition with our heart, with our soul, and we start to really feel that internal balance that we were looking for, already, to meet whatever happens with equanimity. And it's possible to mostly do that in our lives, right? We're not ever going to be perfect, but we can mostly do that. Then it leads for more flow. It leads to more flow. Then I got look at the bigger picture, and this is that, yes, this thing happened. Yes, it affected me. It makes me feel this way. And I have this much progress. I can look back and see where I used to feel in relation to this, and look how much progress I've made. And there's so much happening in my life now that if I'm able to start to let layers of this go, I have much more ahead of me. It's really seeing the entire landscape instead of just this one thing, how it affected you, which leaves you stuck, right? So we want to expand, create spaciousness for our energy so that we can, there's more room, there's more wiggle room there. And then our final card is abundance. And this is what does go well in your life. What do you have to be grateful for? It could be the grass that you're lying on right now in the practice of grounding. I'm so grateful. This grass feels cool and the sun's, every moment there's just a whole set of things that we can focus on that are on the bright side, right? As opposed to those haunting. But remember what we said about the balance. We want to leave space for all of it to just exist. And then we get to choose what we put our energy in toward. That's it.
Yeah, beautiful. From clearing ghosts and guilt and releasing constraints to, again, cultivating spaciousness, abundance. Yes, beautiful. Oh, thank you so much as usual. Have a beautiful week, everyone.